same day that Charlie gets assassinated, it goes in the Senate for a vote and gets voted down.
Right.
Every Republican except 2 in the Senate voted against it.
Our
And
vision was deviated.
none at all.
So what happens?
Withdrawals.
Well, yeah, there's a little bit of that, but the discipline, yeah. But
All those distractions also take us away from what's happening outside of our country.
Yeah.
You know, there's still the Gaza war going on. There's still Ukraine.
Jimmy Kimmel, they just canceled his ABC. Done deal.
This is the closure, this is the culture, this is the ending, the final chapter. You are the voter, you are the donor, you are the only one that can save it.
You're disciplined in everything you do. It's like almost perfect. And I say almost perfect because it's hard to say perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you shoot pretty close to it. And when you asked me about Gabriel joining us today, we scheduled this a few weeks back. Normally, I would have said no. But the son that you raised, he has a good head on his shoulders. I'm excited about him being here, especially of what all the stuff that happened within the last week at the college campus with Charlie Kirk and Gabriel.
Multiple campuses.
Multiple campuses,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That is true. You're starting college next year.
Yeah.
What's your thought process about all of this?
I think it's more looking into the future rather than just going for the life, you know? Because, you know, a lot of people go to college, they're like, oh, it's nice parties and all this stuff. Like, yeah, it's nice, but you go there for a reason. Like, you're paying $5,000 a semester to do, get shit-faced every day. Like,
Yeah.
that's just,
You could do that for free.
yeah,
You're going to Texas Tech,
yeah,
right?
state,
Texas State.
yeah,
Oh, okay, that's where Pops went.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
he's passing it down.
If
Passing it up, man. I got that tuition now. But he got some scholarships lined up, man. So I'm excited about that.
there you go. I'm excited for you,
Dual
man.
credit. You know, back in the day, we didn't have dual credit. We didn't
No.
have college courses in high school.
No.
But he's taking all those right now.
Times are changing.
Yeah.
What's your perception about all this stuff that's going on? You're a young man turning into an adult soon, and you have to go in the real world, leave mom and dad, and be on your own. Watching the news and seeing all the stuff that's taking place, that make you be scared, make you excited, makes you be challenged.
I think it's a little bit between challenge and afraid, because you know, a couple years back you could say whatever you want, you do whatever you want, and people just nick at you and that's it. But now it's gone to the point where people choose violence, and that's just normal, you know. And you know, going into college, there's obviously going to be people that are just crazy in the head. So if I say something, or if I get into a dispute with somebody at college, I'm afraid that they're going to do something to me, you know? And it's not that I can't defend myself. It's just the fact that I have to think about that, you know? That's just in the back of my mind.
Gilbert, as a father, you spend 18 years raising children so they can be on their own. What's your mindset about raising a young man to be 18, to go on his own and deal with this life that me and you did not have to deal with? Granted, we had our crazy issues during our time.
Yeah, so I just went into the zone right now because it ain't easy, man. You know, like if I look at this from a qualitative approach, you know, I'm very data driven, very analytic. I've invested a lot of money in this stock, so my son's an asset, right?
Of course.
It's not a liability. You know, there's ups and downs, ebbs and flows of raising a family, and there's your stocks, your liabilities, and then there's your sunk costs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sunk costs is something that you never get back. It's kind of like a lesson learned. You know, maybe you paid for something, and that's a done deal because you knew it was gonna go wrong, but you had the means to say, all right, we're gonna do this, and then it didn't work out.
But that's just trial and error.
So that's life. That's life. The hard part about knowing that there's people out there that are weak, and that you've worked so hard to raise somebody who's strong in the mind, strong in the spirit, right? The mind, the body, and the soul. Right? The mind, the body, and the soul. So the mind is here. The body is what you see, is aesthetically, right? You can see somebody strong aesthetically, right? Or if you see them carrying a bunch of weight. But the soul is where it's at, and that's the spirit. So if you exercise the spirit more than you do everything else, and you keep God in your house, right? You keep a God in your house. Whatever deity you pray to, or that you fear. I think that's the foundation of a household, and the foundation on how to build, on where to build a house or a child or a marriage or a relationship. If you keep that first, everything else works itself out, man.
I want to add on to that, the mind, the body, the soul. Even at a young age, like myself, being raised by you, I know that it's hard to have all three in your life and to maintain all three in your life, because being right in the mind and the soul and the body is just a big juggle. You're juggling three balls at the same time. For your whole life, you're gonna mess up, and it's hard to maintain all three.
The Bible tells us build a house on a rock and not sand.
Yeah.
So the foundation of any society should be built on rock.
Right.
And I know personally, knowing you for a long time, that you're a God-centered guy. You put your faith in front of everything that you do. How do you stay disciplined in that? How do you stay disciplined to the promises you made to yourself and your God, and those moral and ethic codes that you have for yourself? Because we have our good times and we have our bad times. And
Right.
I struggled with that last week, because Charlie was a huge aspect of the conservative movement. And when you lose that, there was a sense of anger.
Yeah.
And for me, I struggle with it, because do you let that anger take over what you're going to do next? Or are you going to let that anger be the fire that starts something greater than yourself? So how do you stay disciplined to your faith?
Man, it's just when you roll out of bed in the morning, gym every morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 5:30 latest. When you roll out of bed in the morning, man, you gotta be grateful. We're good. All right. You gotta be grateful for waking up first. Every day. If you wake up with an attitude of gratitude, if you wake up that way,
Attitude
Man.
of gratitude.
everything's just so much better. I could roll out of bed sore as hell, man. Tired. Maybe I had the last 2 weeks have been really tough, man. Baptized my niece. Shout out to my brother Victor, allowing me to be the godfather. We do that.
Wow.
We get home 5 o'clock. I'm packing. 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm on the plane. I get on the plane at 4 o'clock. I'm at the Vault Conference, PBD's Vault Conference. I'm on that. I'm there at 8 o'clock. I'm checking in at 10 o'clock. I got to check in. Then I got to network, and then so on and so forth. And then I got to figure out the hotel, because this place was ginormous, right? I had to come home early, based on, something that happened with the family, right? And family comes first. So, yeah, I leave a $8,000 investment to come home to handle it. And then I get back to work, and there's work to be done, because, you run a couple companies, and you're getting pulled different ways and so on and so forth. You get that done. But man, the only thing that gave me peace during that time is prayer. So if you practice that, right? Texas A&M beat Notre Dame. That was a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they just went and played, or did they play for a whole week against Notre Dame before they faced them? Right? When you get ready for a show in bodybuilding, do you go to the posing room and you actually put in the posing to see yourself in the mirror before you go on stage to see what you're gonna look like? And then my coach, shout out to Brandon Rashad. You can get with him on he's on my friends list on Instagram if you ever want to get Buck. He says you got to do this, and then you get to go show it. But everything's in the off season. So when your faith is tested, it's all about what's in the off season, baby. It's all about what's in the off season. What are you doing every day consistently? And what are you also showing other people? What are you also preaching, right? Because if you don't practice what you preach, you're a hypocrite.
Of course.
So how do I do it? I live it. If somebody's having a bad day, I don't tell them, oh, it's going to be all right. Or you and me have had conversations. Man, this is happening, so on and so forth. But like, hey, I'm going to have to take the high side on this, bro. You're wrong in your thinking. That's biblical, man.
Mm-hmm.
God sent me a brother that could tell me, hey, you're wrong. You need to fix your thought process, the mind, because it's not in line with your spirit. And because it's not in line with your spirit, your body's off, right? We had a conversation. It was like, man, I don't even want to, like, everything's off. Okay, that's why. We had that conversation. I go home. I talk to my God. I pray to him. And as far as consistency, man, you know, I have a Bible app. Every morning I do the Bible app. It could be 2 o'clock in the morning when I wake up. It could be 4 o'clock in the morning. It could be while I'm doing cardio at 5:30, whatever time. But I'm sending it to not my disciples, but my brethren. So I send it to my son. He gets it every day. I send it to my wife. I send it to my agents. I send it to my brothers in arms. And, you know, I make sure that they're laced up for the day before they even wake up, because I'm up earlier than everybody else.
Dude, I believe that we have the same app, because the daily verses that you share, I get the same verses on my app.
Yeah, man.
And you do have to ground yourself in something. And I try my best to make a practice of the first app that I wake up in the morning and I open is that. It's something that God speaks to you. There's always wisdom in it. And it makes everything else be secondary.
Yeah.
You put God first. Do you actually sit with the family and read the Bible?
No, we ain't there yet.
Not yet.
No. I find myself, whenever something happens, I find myself going to the scripture and finding certain scriptures and passages and stories in the Bible, right? Because there's a lot of stories, a lot of good stories. Even if you're not Christian, the Bible is still a good book because it's history.
Yeah.
It's a great book. And it has a bunch of books in there. So you want to know about a little something like this, you go to Matthew. You want to know a little bit something like this, go to Romans. You go, you know. You want to hear a good story about a world that was created, go to Genesis. You know,
it was written over centuries. Do you make the Bible any part of your routine on a daily basis or weekly basis? What does that mean to you?
So I don't really read the Bible, but I do practice the religion daily. I always try to get at least 2 or 3 prayers, just talking to God, thanking him. Every time before I eat, you know, it's always just a habit. It's become something repetitive in my life, and it doesn't get old, you know?
Yeah.
He's better at that than I am. He's better before he eats, man, he always prays. And sometimes I'm already going at it because bodybuilding got me going, man. I got to eat 6 times a day. So, yeah.
I feel like the reason I do that is because, you know, the temptation, you know, they want you to be greedy, you know, eat your food real fast. But you gotta be disciplined in order to.
That's me.
I get it.
Yeah.
Your body's
you're used
burning thousands of calories more than average people daily. So you're on the different.
Thank you for that. Thank you for the grace,
I think God
brother.
would give you a lot of grace when it comes to that. Because I have low blood sugar. I feel you. When I get hungry, my hands will start to shake. Then I don't eat. When the shaking starts, I'll pass out.
Yeah. Well, that's a necessity. So that's different. You know, for that, if I would have low blood sugar, I would eat and then give thanks, you know, for having the opportunity to eat, you know.
Wisdom. If I can add any suggestion to your life, praying is great. Mm-hmm. Having gratitude, having that acknowledgement of everything that we have. We've been blessed by a higher power. But ultimately, like Pop said, there's a lot of stories in the Bible that when you read it yourself, you're like, damn, I went through that 2 weeks ago. Oh, I know a buddy of mine who's going through that right now.
Yeah.
So when the next obstacle comes, you already prepared of what through centuries people have gone through it. And a lot of those people in the Bible are righteous people that God personally chose himself. So their struggles become a playbook for us. It's not, you're not in the scrimmage and trying to be like, oh, what play do we run right now? What play do we run?
Yeah.
You are the 4 steps ahead. You're like the quarterback that sees the defense move and you're like, all right, I'm changing my game plan right now.
Yeah.
On the last minute, last seconds.
Audible.
Yeah. So yeah, you literally have the coach in your ear telling you what to do. Just a suggestion. It's, I don't want to force religion on anybody, but I've seen how much it impacted my life for the better, how much it impacted your pop's life. And I have so many friends who struggle with alcohol, drugs, porn, you name it. We are sinful creatures, right? This is becoming more of a sermon today.
No, but guys, like if you're listening, you know, take these messages as not as a check move, man, but just kind of like reflect on what we're talking about, because you know, I'm 39. I got 2 kids, got a wife, got businesses, got the land. I got a lot of stuff going on, and that can all be taken away from me.
Job.
It could be taken away from me. But you know what nobody can take from me? It's my faith.
Yep.
Not my religion, because it's a lot of people's understanding that religion was man-made, right? They got names for this stuff. But your faith, ain't nobody take that.
No.
Because that relationship is vertical.
See, that's a line. So like what your dad just said, there's a story in the Bible, there's a book called Job. Lucifer goes to God and says, hey, look at Job. And God is like, yeah, look at Job. He's great. It was one of my good servants. And Lucifer tells him, he's like, of course, you bless them with everything. And God is like, okay, take everything away from him. His wife, his kids, all his belongings, just don't take his life. And Lucifer does. The devil goes and one by one, he dismantles Job's life, to the point that there was nothing left. He was angry, he was confused, he was in despair. He kept his faith. Because he kept his faith, he never blamed God. God gave him everything he lost and then some. So throughout life, your dad would tell you, any adult would tell you that you would get his stuff and you will lose them. And a lot of times when you lose something, it's hard to comprehend why you lost it at that point. But later on, you're like, oh, that was a blessing.
For you don't know the plans I have for you, my son.
But you will.
Yeah, that's in the Bible too, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't take losses, man. I just take L's. You know, it's a learning experience. Learning experiences could be tough though, so it's good to have brothers in arms for that.
Of course.
But I want to revert back to the question you asked about my son going to college and me having to worry about that. I got to give that one to God, right? I lace him up. You know, you got your you know, he's competed in boxing. He's a good fighter. If that ever comes about, so on and so forth. But he also exercises every other part of him, right? The Holy Trilogy, you know, the Holy Trinity. But you know, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, body, mind, and soul. So I'm confident in my son going off on his own, doing his thing. And one of my dreams is to scale my company to where if my son calls me while I'm at the agency or wherever I'm at the time, and he goes, Dad, man, I'm not doing good. I need you to come. I'm on my way. Hey, run the company. I'm gone. Right? That's my goal in business, not millions of dollars. My goal is a scaled company to where I can get up and go. Even though I want to be in my company, of course, I have to be present, right? But I can't be omnipotent. I need to be omnipresent.
Yeah.
I need to be somewhat in every different vertical of my company to make sure it's vertically integrated to be scalable. But at the end of the day, man, if my daughter calls me and she goes, Daddy, you know, this happened, I'm Control Delete, I'm logging out, baby. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you call me a good friend, right?
Appreciate
I got 2 handfuls of friends, right? It used to be 1. I got 2 now. Thank
God is good.
right? God is great, right? And I can call on any one of them at any time to talk me off the bridge. Let's put it that way. So, but I know my son has God in his heart, so I can I can ask God to handle it while I'm getting there, because Texas State is about 3-4 hours from where I'm at. So anything can happen between that time. So I'm glad that I'm able to do that, and I lace my son up and my whole family up to know that Daddy will come, but God has us at the end of the day.
There's a bigger daddy up there.
That's right. That's right. And the whole thing with Charlie Kirk, man, the here's one thing that's probably gonna shock a lot of people. The Charlie Kirk situation has happened hundreds of times before Charlie Kirk happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just about Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is a perfect example of what has happened both on every side of the political spectrum based on opinions. You know, you have people with certain preferences, and it's a hate crime. And some people take advantage of that.
It's just gotten worse.
It's just getting worse and worse and worse. But this one happened to be an idol to a lot of people that built something beautiful. He built a beautiful company that was spreading the word and trying to bring people back to where they need to be, in my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You just respect my opinion. Otherwise, I'll make you respect it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where the controversy comes into play, right? Oh, I don't appreciate. And that's what Charlie used to do when he was talking to people. Hey, I'm going to objectively show you that you are incorrect in your statements. I'm not saying your beliefs are wrong. I'm just saying the data shows that you're wrong. And they didn't like that.
A lot of it goes back down to people, in my view, not having that foundation that we spoke about.
Yeah.
If your foundation is not built on truth, you get swayed one way or another. If your foundation is not built on God and you don't realize that God gives life and God takes life, you start to dehumanize the people that disagree with you. Mm-hmm. Your truth becomes the only truth, and anybody that has any other point of view, they're racist, they're bigots, they're X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And when you demonize people over and over, where else you think you're going to end up at?
It's just nobody has an open mind anymore. Like, nobody's open to opinions and, taking critical feedback and all that stuff. They're just, oh, you're wrong, I'm right. That's it.
Looking at the cultures in high school right now, are y'all presented with any opportunity to sit there and have a dialogue with your peers and talk about things that are real life issues, like what we're doing here? Are y'all into that at all? Is that like presented to you by the school?
Yeah, no, I have friends that are into all that, politics and stuff. I personally try to stay away from it because I'm not trying to, argue all the time, especially during my education time. That's my time to, focus.
Learn.
Yeah. But, every time is discussed in class, there's some teachers that'll be open to it and let that happen. But most teachers will just cut it off, and that's just how it is. If you're not talking about school,
so I'm not talking about like in a math class that you should go and discuss real stuff. The math class is for math, right?
Yeah.
Or science is for science. Are y'all presented, like back in our high school day, there was like debate classes. There were like events after school that we did about politics, about sports. Whoever had the same kind of interest, I went to Color Burke and Friendswood. That opportunity was there to go have that deeper discussion, to dig deeper in whatever you were interested in. People were interested in science too, and they went after class and talked about science and like what they can learn and like where they can improve.
Yeah. Okay.
Is something like that exists?
Yeah. So I just need a little bit more elaboration, but yeah, there are clubs in our school. We do have debate electives. We do have separate schools called Miller. They have criminal justice, literally any topic that you want to learn is there.
Awesome.
And we also have community service classes and clubs and all that stuff. So yeah, there is opportunities where you can be yourself and speak your mind.
Let me ask you this: if it helps you to imagine if your dad is not here, looking at what me and your dad's generation are doing, where do you think we are putting our energy that's good, and where can we improve, and where are we wasting our time? Because you see life through a different lens than me and him do. You see it different than the boomers do. What stands out to you guys that, hey, they're doing something right here, or they're dropping a ball completely there? Anything that stands out to you in that sense?
Um, that's a hard question for me to answer because lately I've been to myself, trying to grow grow myself as a person, preparing myself for being on my own and all that, my future. But if I were to say something about that, it would probably be that um, the only really mentors I have is my dad and my uncles and all that stuff because I've been really family based my whole life. So, um, all these great leaders I've looked up to is I think they're doing great. But there are some immature adults
Yeah.
that go around arguing with little kids, like kids, if telling them they're right and they're wrong, and disciplining them incorrectly, and just raising the youth incorrectly.
So is that because their own perception of the reality is incorrect, or what do you think caused them to go that route?
To go,
So
which
if
route?
they're disciplined,
Man, I'm about to spill over, dog.
so
Go ahead, dog.
if they're having these conversations that are not in a right place with people that are younger,
Uh-huh.
is that the? Are you saying that they're wrong in their views? Is that why they're making a mistake, or are you saying they shouldn't approach the younger group to have those conversations when they're not ready yet?
Yeah, I think that they shouldn't approach the younger generation with conversations that they shouldn't even be knowing about. There's teachers that teach kids about being gay. They can't even. They don't have the opportunity to have a sex change or think about that yet. And just trashing their mind with all that stuff, especially at a young age, is just terrible. I think you should learn that in the high school age, leaning into it, but at elementary age and middle school, you should be a kid. You shouldn't be thinking about politics or what's going on in the world. You should live your life.
Man, in elementary, you shouldn't be thinking about sex at all.
Yeah.
Like sexual intercourse.
Yeah.
That
And
shouldn't even be a concept
there's kids
in
in
elementary.
elementary that are vaping and smoking.
Elementary?
Yeah. My sister's been knowing about vaping since 3rd grade. And she's in 8th now.
As a parent, how do you okay, how do I form this one?
Yeah,
Because
yeah. Um,
how do you battle this? Because you trust that you pay taxes, you put your children in the hand of capable people who are educated to teach children, yet you have to worry about your child being exposed to sexual content or like confusion about their gender in elementary school.
yeah. I don't enforce, I instill. I instill greatness in my kids. I instill family values. One thing I always say, and Gabriel could tell you this here. No matter how bad it is, no matter what, son, and you've heard this before, no matter how bad it is, you come to me first and we'll work it out. No matter how bad it is. My daughter too, baby. Something happens, anything that happens, whether it was your fault or not, or you feel that it was your fault or not, you come to me and we'll figure it out together.
And it's great to have a dad like that
Yeah,
because
and-
most people
course.
just
And,
they
and you're
scared.
never alone. You are never alone. You call me, I'm at the job, Control Alt Delete, I'm out. We're going, right? I'm in Vegas, or I'm in Orlando, or I'm in Arizona and Tucson, or I'm wherever I'm at. What's going on? I'm on the way.
So you created the safest space within your family, so he doesn't need a safer space outside.
Yeah, I have an open door policy, always. And that goes for my wife, that goes for my son, that goes for my daughter. And then separate from that, that goes for my homies, my true homies, the ones that know they're in, and my agents, my employees, people that work with me.
Gabriel, do you see that with your friends' parents as well, or
No.
they live a different reality than you do?
They do 100%. And that's why I'm so grateful to be brought into a family like this because I know a lot of people, they come to me for advice because, I have the mindset of my dad. And I'm glad that they can be open with me and talk to me about some stuff, but it's just sad thinking that they can't speak with their parents about that or with their family. Broken families are all around the world. 50% of marriages are divorced. Probably more now. That was long. That was a while ago.
That is absolutely true. But even to me, if your marriage does not work, it shouldn't take anything away from a man being a father to his children,
I agree.
a woman being a mom
Yeah.
to her children. And I can't put my finger on where that disruption has happened within our society, because I do see the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my friends have children. I see them raising those children. A lot of them are doing great, but some of them, you see it, you're like, you feel bad. You're like, you're not giving that child a chance, an equal playing field
Mm-hmm.
with everybody else that they're going to compete with in high school, in colleges,
Mm-hmm.
in real life.
Yeah.
Then children grow up to be half mature adults, and then they go do something like the Charlie Kirk assassin.
That guy was young. He was what, 22?
22.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot more to that, in my opinion. This guy playing the role. I've seen the text messages, look like a script.
There's a lot of
there's a lot of what's it called?
Factors.
Yeah, no, conspiracy.
conspiracies.
It's a conspiracy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is going on right now. This is what's going on, right?
Mhm.
But do you know of any new bills that are being passed,
Or the ones that are not being passed.
or the ones that are not being right? Or the ones that
Same
are
day,
not being
Jeffrey
passed?
Epstein's.
The list.
So we passed it in the House to release the files. Same day that Charlie gets assassinated, it goes in the Senate for a vote and gets voted down.
Right.
Every Republican except 2 in the Senate voted against it. And
Our vision was deviated. Anytime, like, hey, can I cuss?
yeah,
Yeah, anytime some shit like this happens, bro, it's a distraction, man. They're diverting our vision to something else. Don't forget what's going on over here. Of course, I empathize, man. Charlie Kirk I used to watch him all the time, man. He's a great guy. He had his, he had his areas of opportunity. I think we all do, right? I don't think he had many, in my opinion, but others do feel that way. There's people being canceled right now because, they said, Jimmy Kimmel, they just canceled his ass. ABC, done deal, right? Late night show, you done. Poor guy.
and is that another distraction?
It could be because a lot of podcasters are talking about it. So there's Charlie Kirk, right? And then there's a lot of verticals being,
Of course.
associated with it. So we're watching all this right here. But what's going on at the top? Right? What's going on at the top?
All those distractions also take us away from what's happening outside of our country.
Yeah.
There's still the Gaza war going on. There's still Ukraine. Those are our allies, and we still, although we did pay them a lot of money, and they're still,
We gotta get the minerals, man.
Yeah.
We gotta get the minerals, bro. That's what we're going after. But continue, son.
it's still happening, and people are just, it's a trend. This is a trend. This is a trend. Oh, forget about that.
Yeah.
The Gaza and Israel, everybody was on that on social media. Everybody. I was scrolling my TikTok. It was just Gaza, Israel. And then 2 months later, it's gone,
Yeah.
And there's still a small amount of people that still support it, but it's just gone.
And right now, we're working on taking over some of the TikTok. There's a bunch of
Yeah.
private investors here in the United States that are going to be majority investors in TikTok in order to take over that.
And look who they are.
Yes, exactly. So, I'll digress, but stay alert, man. Keep your eye on the ball. If you're following politics, if you're into politics and stuff, which I think at a certain level in business, once you get to a certain level of business, you got to pay attention to that because it affects your taxes, it affects your household, it affects legislation, Legislation affects education. Education affects. I think it was there was this one cat that went on PBD's podcast and he says, "My people will die for lack of education," and that's in the Bible.
Yeah.
He goes, first there's fear. Fear creates chaos. Chaos creates war, and then war creates destruction. Whether that is metaphoric and it's self-destruction or destruction in general. Because you're at a war with yourself on the third level, right? Fear, right? I just said that. So fear, chaos, destruction. So when you're afraid of something, that's the fear, right? And we'll go into the coaching, DLG coaching, right? Fear is nothing more than an acronym. It's false emotion appearing real because you're just afraid of what may happen. You don't know what's on the other side. But then it becomes chaos because you don't know what to do, right?
That's where the enemy wins.
And that's where your faith has to come into play. Because if not, it becomes chaos and everybody gets affected by it. And then because everybody got affected by it and you feel guilty, it's destruction, self-destruction, self-destructive behavior. You want to go out and smoke weed to become numb, right? And I'm not knocking weed smokers. Sometimes people smoke weed for other reasons, whatever. But you start doing unproductive activities, bad behavior, unhealthy behaviors in order to offset an emotion, a false emotion appearing real, of fear. I'm afraid, so I'm going to numb myself, whether it's alcohol, drugs, women.
It's always something.
It's always something, man. It's a vicio. It's a bad habit.
But that's where fearing God comes in hand.
Yeah, bro. If you're a God-fearing man, you know
You're a dangerous
what
man.
to do.
You're a dangerous
Yeah,
man.
you could be a dangerous man. Well, your God-fearing man is a dangerous man because he knows that you fear no man. The only person you fear is God. And if you only fear God, you are, man.
There's nothing that would stop
There's
you.
nothing that will stop you, man.
There's a lot of controversy with Torchy's tacos.
Yeah.
How it's a devil and how
Torchy's tacos?
yeah, it's like a little demon on the logo.
Did you know that?
I-
No, I've seen that. I just never said nothing about it.
Yeah. I don't want to bring this up, but my ex's father, he would take her to Torchy's because that was her favorite place or one of her favorite places. He hated that place because of the little demon, and I always thought it was so stupid because if you're and he's a really really religious man. He'd always go to church. He's always preaching about God, but if he was really God fearing, he wouldn't be scared to go in there.
Well, you don't want to expose yourself. I read the same thing with Monster
Yeah,
Energy.
Yeah.
the triple six.
Yeah, I used to drink a lot of it back in the day. And when I realized everything has a frequency. When you write Monster on a can, you write that 666 on a can. We don't even know 666 is the sign of the devil. That's what the vision was. A lot of people claim that is the Arabic written of Allah. If you turn it upside down, it looks like 666, 666 as well. But just because you have faith doesn't mean you should go into darkness, because then you tempting yourself.
Yeah, but then my point is that you shouldn't be afraid to go into darkness. You shouldn't willingly go into darkness, but you shouldn't be afraid
bro.
to.
That's the Psalms.
I know.
That's Psalms 20. That's the 23rd Psalm, bro.
Because that's
How much
In the
are you
example-
willing to go in the darkness, though? Because
In
I'm
my
gonna give you
example-
example.
Oh, can we use mine?
Huh?
Can we use mine?
Yeah, go for it.
Because my ex's father, that's his daughter.
Yeah.
If she wants to go eat, that's you should go get it for her. If my sister wants to go eat, she wants Chick-fil-A all the time. We go to Chick-fil-A. That's just what it is. But the fact that he's sacrificing his daughter's happiness of going to the place for his fear of the little logo, that's just
Yeah, if it's just a logo, I understand what you're saying. But if I can put into perspective for you, I always thought just because Jesus hanged out with tax collectors and sinners, my excuse was I'm friend with so and so. because Jesus did it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go hang out with somebody that does cocaine. I'm gonna go hang out with somebody that does stuff that's sinful. And the more you put yourself in those situations, at least that's how it was for me.
Yeah.
The more you expose yourself to evil, the more normal it becomes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you see friends around you doing a whole bunch of stuff that they're not supposed to do. You know they're not supposed to do it. But then you're like, all right, they'll live an okay life. He makes good money. He cheats on his wife. It's fine. He does drugs. It's fine. Like, he's doing okay.
No,
God,
not.
if there's a God, why is he getting rewarded, right? So it should be all right. Then your brain subconsciously goes toward that. To the point that I was talking to one of my pastors when I was living in Austin, and he was like, why are you doing that? I was like, well, Jesus did it. He's like, do you think you're Jesus? I was like, I want to be Jesus-like. But he's like, but you're not Jesus. Jesus was a sinless man. He was tempted by the devil himself, and he overcame it. But me and you don't have that ability. And I was like, huh. Then I changed my circle. Then you see how quickly your perception and your life changes for the better, because you're not sitting there and tempting yourself. I talked about this in the first episode that we did. I can't count how many times I went out with my friends. I was like, all right, I'm not going to do that. But I was hanging out with them till 4 a.m. in somebody's kitchen, and it was like, like having a great time. And I'm like, why am I here?
Yeah.
I'm not making any of these people's life better.
Yeah.
I'm just struggling myself, staying up this late, thinking that I'm
That I'm
helping
cool.
them.
Yeah.
So for me, when I change that perception, I'm not saying going to Torchy's is the same concept, because it's just a sign.
Yeah.
Torchy's not.
Torchy's is all right, man. You can make tacos at home, save a grip.
I'm not a fan of Torchy's
Yeah,
because the tacos suck.
I used to take it, but I didn't like it.
Dude, in Houston,
Sacrifice. Good job.
in Houston, the taco trucks,
Yeah.
they hit hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's few toward Hobby Airport that, like, if I drive within like a 5-mile radius of the ones that I really like, I would drive, because in Houston 5 minutes is like 5 miles is 45
bro.
minutes.
Yeah.
I'll drive 30 minutes just to go get the gorditas, the burritos.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's
Now
an hour.
just thinking about it, my hands are getting shaking. I'm hungry again.
Yeah.
It's an hour to get to Houston from Houston.
Man, I got a partner of mine that started the little taco truck business, and you know, he came up. Let's just say he was in a different vertical, and then tapped out of that one and went legit.
Awesome.
And started taco trucks, and he's making money over, hand over fist, man. Shout out Tacos Patroncito, my boy Ivan Carrillo.
Where's that at?
There's one off of 529 in Barker Cypress, and he has several of them now.
And he
So
sponsors truck meets.
And he sponsors truck meets, man.
Nice.
He legit, man. He's doing his thing. I'm proud of him, man. He's one of my clients.
Awesome.
But to your point, like, let's talk about perfection, right? Jesus was the perfect being that walked this earth, and they crucified him for it, man. They crucified him for it. So, my pastor, my priest, I went to him one time because I felt remorse. And he said, look, Gilbert, you're not perfect. If you were perfect, they would crucify you, because that's what they did to Jesus. And I'm like, oh yeah, it makes me feel better. He goes, but you can give a perfect effort. That
one hits hard.
That hits so hard, man. So I can give a perfect effort, man. That doesn't mean I'm gonna be perfect. I'm gonna make my mistakes. And there's a song, Trompezando en la misma piedra. It's by Vicente Fernandez. He passed away recently. Rest his soul. The king knows that he can trip on the same rock over and over and over, but he's still the king, because that's him, right? And I believe if you do your best in life and so on and so forth, you can build your kingdom. And kings don't always make the right decisions.
Going back to Charlie,
Yeah.
it made me think about something JC said in the last episode.
I bet.
He was like, in our time, Charlie Kirk was the closest thing we had to Jesus. And at the point, I was like,
No.
He was a hold on.
Yeah.
um,
Continue.
then I
Coach.
went back and looked at it because Charlie was 5-6 years younger than me,
Mhm.
and I looked up to him not because of the political stuff, but because of his faith.
Yes.
He did political stuff, but every campus, every stage this man walked on, he praised Christ. He talked about Christ's life. He talked about how we can model our life after that. And even with the people that disagree with him, he approached that with love
Mhm.
that Christ taught us. I'm not saying Charlie's a perfect man. I'm not saying that nobody comes close to Christ because the standard that he set up for the rest of us is we can't.
That's pretty high.
We can never get anywhere near that.
Well, from a business perspective, his donors is $150 million, dude.
Yeah.
$150 million off of $455,000 $455,000 donors. $150 million.
Yeah.
Like, where them donors at, man? You know what I'm saying?
What you mean? Where are the donors?
Where are the donors at that are donating $150 million to a nonprofit organization? That's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, Charlie Kirk was an entrepreneur.
He was many things.
Yeah. So there was a
Yeah.
nonprofit section and there was a for-profit section.
Oh, Turning Point USA has a.
No. Turning Point USA was a nonprofit, but he had his podcast. And
Oh,
he would
okay,
go out
yeah.
and speak
Mhm.
as Charlie Kirk,
Mhm.
and several other things. So a lot of his speeches, aside from Turning Point USA, he would go out and speak to the masses about building a business. Because for 13 years he was broke.
He was actually on Pat's conference one of the times, correct?
I think he got asked to be on there. I'm not sure if he went to the vault.
Okay, because I saw a video of him with him and Pat on a stage, and he was getting interviewed by Pat. How was that like, by the way?
Oh, the vault?
Yeah.
Oh, it was crazy, man. It was amazing. It was amazing.
What's so? If I were to ask you, what's like 3 things that you walked away from that event?
The vault conference?
Yeah.
Self-reflection in business. Finding my own areas of opportunity, even though I make a good living. Right? And the contacts, man. It was 12,000 entrepreneurs. There's 12,000 people in there that are entrepreneurs. They all own their own business. And when we would sit down, when we would network, I'd go table to table. Or, you know, at one point, I wasn't even going to tables no more. People were coming to mine. We all got the same problems. And that's very it's nice to exhale, dude, finally. To be like, I'm not the only one. You know, I thought I was doing something wrong. I think that's the best thing I took away from it. And I had to leave prematurely. I had to leave early because of some stuff.
How often
right?
does he do the vault? Do you know?
Every year.
Every year. So
Yeah.
it's a one event.
Yeah,
once a year.
my entire agency team is going. I already dropped the money for it. I'll buy the early bird.
You can buy right now for next year.
Yeah, I already bought.
Wow.
Yeah, and I got a discount. It's gonna be a lot more. Tony Robbins spoke on Wednesday, and I mean,
he's a beast too.
yeah. So to be able to speak to him, or I'm sorry, to be able to, you know, chat with him. I got to meet Adam. I met Vinny. I didn't get a chance to talk to PBD, but he sent me a message on why I had to leave prematurely. He appreciated it, and a couple other things, you know.
How do you? Is there a package that you can pay extra to? I don't want to do this informational
No,
for
well,
Pat, but like
I think the general ticket was $500.
no. Can you pay extra to get like one-on-one with him while you're there?
Yeah, that's $20,000.
20 grand.
20 grand.
And wow, that's not bad.
That's one-on-one. I think there's 2 sessions where you're one-on-one with him.
Not
Really?
bad.
Yeah.
Is he going next year?
Yeah, he's going. He got platinum. There's general, and then there's another one, and then platinum and executive. I got 5 platinum tickets for all my agents, and I got 1 executive ticket for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
You know how many other 18-year-olds would have that opportunity?
Yeah. Yeah.
God is good.
But we're gonna do it right, man. So, yeah, God is good. God is good all the time, and you know, he blesses me, so I bless I bless my team, I bless my people, I bless my friends, family.
And for anybody listening, if you need insurance in Texas, what other states are you in?
Yeah, licensed in Texas.
Ad break.
Hit
Ad
up
break.
DLG Insurance. The number is 713-262-5366. But I want to ask you this. What's different for you this go around with your insurance company? Because you've done this before. You had that exit. You could have just sat back and count yourself retired at the early age, but you didn't. You're back at it. So how are you doing this different this go around than last time?
Well, it's just me now, so I don't split sheets with two other people. So that's 3-way split. It's the same growth. What am I doing different? It's my culture, man. It's all mine now.
So was it more about the identity of the last firm versus this one?
Yeah, well, it was more about I'll go back to the culture, because you know my last agency was a revolving door, man. People come in, they would leave, and then it was back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then I'm just like, yeah, you can't do that. Like I would do exit interviews because I was big on the HR side. I mean, I learned a lot in my last agency, and the exit interviews they weren't aimed at me, you know, for termination or for voluntary termination. They just wanted to leave. I would ask, you know, why you leaving, man? And I didn't like the answer. So when I gave the feedback, it was just like, no way, this, and this.
Excuses.
I'm like, hold on, man, there's a pattern. You know, at first, okay, I get it. Second, third, fourth, fifth, hold up, bro. We gotta fix this. And then it's like you can't admit you have a problem. Now, there's people that leave from the back and people that leave from the front. I leave from the front, right? I'm in,
Of course.
and that might be detrimental on the front end. Being able to not being able to get away, right? Because I have to be there to make sure, hey, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Let's go close this deal, and I'll show you how it's done. So the next one you do it on your own, and I'll have your back on that one.
That's true mentorship.
Right. So lead from the front, not from the back. I ain't whooping nobody's ass back here. Wow, you supposed to be doing this, doing that, and then burn them out. There's no retention on that, huh?
That was like a crazy gesture.
Wow.
That was a crazy gesture.
Yeah, no, I don't do that, man.
Do you see yourself joining Pop's firm down the line?
Yeah, I think the shoes are very, very heavy and big to fill, but I'll get there.
What are you going to school for?
Finance.
Finance. Okay. Fits perfectly.
Yeah. I'm taking a accounting elective right now, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is your degree in?
Business management.
Business management. And MBA after that?
My master's in organizational leadership, and then American College, I have the life insurance degree. Not the license, but the degree to do several things with life insurance.
So you have multiple degrees.
Yeah.
You run a business.
Yeah.
You're a father.
Yeah.
You're trying to get your pro card in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
How many hours in a day do you have? Like,
Oh, like,
how do you do it?
man, I get asked that a lot, brother. It's just it's focus, man. It's focus.
Discipline.
No, you have to have focus in order to have discipline. Because discipline is doing something you don't want to do. Like you
Like
like
you love
doing
it.
it.
Like what?
You love it.
Like you love it.
Do it like you love it.
Yeah, discipline is doing something no matter what, like you love it. Because sometimes you don't want to wake up in the morning, but you do.
Yeah.
And my body might hurt in the morning, but as soon as I get my 15 minutes of stretching in, I'm good to go. I'll take my little pre-workout, good to go. But I am tired waking up, man. And I'm 39 too, so different things start happening when you get older. You know?
Tell me about it.
You know, your T might drop. You know, testosterone might lower. Your
What's up with that? I know a lot of people, like, a lot of my friends are around the same age as I am. I have a lot of them that are in their mid-20s and a lot of them that are in their mid-40s. the younger generation, I see mid 25. They're not doing it for bodybuilding. They're on test boosters.
Mm.
And I just sit there, scratch my head. I'm like, why does a 25-year-old, 26-year-old need? Why is your testosterone low? Is there a reason? Because I've been wrestling with this for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
I mean, it could possibly be genetics because some people do need that, but other than that, I think it's just, you know, they're trying to get a boost at a young age, which is gonna ruin their future.
So they go to those clinics. You have to test your testosterone. You have to be below a certain level for them to write you those prescriptions, correct?
Yeah, but there's always
you talking about them? Yeah.
Yeah.
there's always gonna be places where you could get stuff anywhere. You know?
No, they go to legit places because like it's $500, $600 a month, and they're like, oh, I'm on this, I'm on that. And when I was 25, 26, I had no issue. I'm at 36.
I didn't know what he was, bro.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about it. I was a jackrabbit.
And I'm like, why do you need like
libido was on point, test was on point,
Yeah.
everything was on point. You know, like so. That's a good point, man, that you bring up.
To me, I'm like, it has to be connected with the mental health.
Yes.
Because
Stress
if you're
levels,
depressed,
yeah.
you have anxiety.
Antidepressants.
When you and me were young, man, the world wasn't as fast as it is now, bro.
Oh, bro. Tell me
No.
about
So
it.
imagine the stress level that comes with that. With stress, what goes up? Cortisol.
Cortisol, yeah.
So if cortisol goes up, right, what's a stress reliever? Alcohol.
Numb the pain.
Numb the pain. Alcohol. You drink enough alcohol, it lowers your testosterone. Therefore, you find yourself in your 30s, early 30s.
Alcohol lowers your testosterone.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a depressant, even though you feel good.
Now the
Yeah.
dots connect.
Yeah.
Because most people nowadays, what are the hobbies you have, especially living in Houston?
Bro, everything. The alcohol is all over the place now. When me and you was young, it was beer, liquor. Which one you want?
Yeah.
Now, you got buzz balls. You got, what's all the shit y'all got nowadays?
What's
that?
hold up? What's buzz balls?
Yeah, buzz ball. I heard about it the other day.
is
I'm
it?
like, what the hell's a buzz ball? I don't even know what it is.
It's a woman-owned liquor company. They make it the liquor to where it tastes like juice, and people just down it.
There you go.
No way.
Yeah, bro.
So it's made for the ladies,
No,
and
it's,
men drink it too, or
yeah, everybody drinks it. It's
Because, like-
popular. It's popular in the Latino.
Four
know,
Loko
yeah.
back in the day? Four Loko?
oh, dude, Four Loko was wild.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so,
I remember those days.
So it's kind of the equivalent. But now there's so
there's
many,
caffeine in it.
Everything, man. They put. There's
No way.
There's
I
a lot
thought
of
they
stuff in a
outlawed
lot
those
of
things.
What's that?
I thought they outlawed like adding caffeine to alcohol.
Man,
So-
I don't know what the hell
All
they're
right.
doing nowadays, bro. But
We're gonna cut this out of the episode, but where do you get it?
You get it anywhere.
You
Yeah,
get
but
it.
the Buzz
Oh
Ball?
wow.
They're at the gas station. They're at Walmart. They're at liquor stores. Anywhere.
That's
See,
crazy.
I don't drink like I did back in the day.
Me
If I
neither.
drink, it's like a lunch meeting or something like that. I have one or two, because I can't drink anymore. Like the next days,
Oh no, bro. 2-day hangovers.
Yeah,
now, man.
2-day
You know what I'm saying?
hangovers.
2 days, bro.
the next day, like I'm dreading the call at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like how do I do this call? And
So to that point, right? Okay. So you asked about test and cortisol and all that stuff. When I go on prep for 16 weeks, it's no alcohol.
none at all.
So what happens?
Withdrawals.
Well, yeah, there's a little bit of that. But the discipline, yeah. But the discipline overcomes that. The discipline overcomes that. I stopped going to family barbecues, and if I do, they already know, right?
Don't bring it out, or
No,
they're
they're
okay.
drinking it, but I'm bringing Topos. Topo
Okay.
Chicos.
And there's also NA beers.
Yeah, and, there's NA beers.
Yeah.
There's non-alcoholic beers, Budweiser, Heineken.
They all have it?
They all got it, brother.
Nice.
And it tastes good, too. It ain't bad. Michelob got a good one. Tastes just like Bud Light. How do I know? Because I divulge in these things. So,
You divulge in a
during
lot of
prep,
things,
bro. So you see me Showtime and then right after,
Mhm.
right? I haven't drank any alcohol.
6 weeks.
Yeah. How much bigger am I? Right.
You look different, honestly, every time I see you.
Okay. My body fluctuates.
Like I've
But,
seen you 2
yeah.
weeks ago
Mhm.
at the office, and Today you walked in and I'm like, did you get bigger?
Well,
Well,
okay.
you got the tight shirt on, so
That's
got
what I
tight
said
shirt,
too.
got
He's
tight
doing the
shirt.
Dwayne Rock
No,
Dwayne thing.
no, it wasn't about that. It wasn't about that, man.
He keep putting those shirts in the dryer. He's like, all right, let's
I
get him
can't-
smaller.
I can't wear tight shirts because I got the gyno.
You got the what?
You know what gyno
Oh, the
is?
nipple
The
thingies?
gyno
Yeah.
it
Really?
pops out.
Is that
Is it-
cortisol?
Hold on. It's
It's,
not gyno. It's gout, bro.
It's gyno.
Gyno?
Yes.
Gyno is the puffy nipples.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Hold on,
episode.
yeah.
Wow.
All right. Yeah.
It
So the
happens in
puffy
a lot of
nipples.
in a lot of guys. And is mostly when fat people become skinny.
Yeah.
Their nipples stay.
And cortisol has to do with it too, no?
Well, no. Okay, so I talked to my son about that, and I said, "Look, son, if you increase the upper top, the upper shelf of your chest, 'cause
Yeah.
the shelf is one. Whenever you do the striations, there's a upper and then there's a lower,
Yeah.
right? So if you increase the upper, it lifts your pec, so that will stretch out that area. And then if you increase the lower parts of the decline, and the incline is going to be your bread and butter in order to get rid of this, because it'll stretch out the nipple and you won't
Yeah.
have it no more."
I dealt with the same thing when I was like in high school. I think same age. Your pops is right, and I had cortisol blockers and DHTP or something, DHPA. Hold on, I have to look at my
DH.
phone too. It was two supplements that gave me. One of them was a cortisol blocker.
You talking about HCG?
No, I will find it.
You talk about supplements. This guy
Huh?
to talk to.
You talking about?
But the workouts that your dad is telling me,
they're
that underneath you get rid of the fat and jogging. I remember like I struggled with it. I went to the doctor and they were like, "No, we do the surgery." And
right away, everybody wants to have surgery.
yeah, and one of the
Yeah.
other guys that was there was like, "No, don't do that. Just go try this thing and jog a little bit, get your body fat down, get your stress levels figured out." I'll find it and I'll share it with you
Yeah.
before we wrap this episode up today. But you're going to Congress, you said, to speak on behalf of
Yeah.
immigration?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So, not a lot of people know about that, so I'm glad we're bringing it up now, so everybody can find out, right?
That's what we're here for.
So, immigration is a big trend right now. It's a big deal, and a lot of people are scared. A lot of the raza, a lot of not even just the Hispanic demographic, man. There's Nigerians. There's, I'm cool with everybody, and a lot of people are scared of what's gonna happen, right? There's ICE out there.
Well,
places
especially
getting
because
ready.
they passed that law where even if you speak Spanish, you get arrested.
What?
What?
Yeah. Even if you speak
Hold up.
Spanish and you look,
Who passed that law?
there's a Congress.
That's not.
Nah, I don't
Yeah.
think so, son.
Did you see that on TikTok?
I saw it everywhere.
No, that one.
Okay,
is,
so that's social media for you, right?
Yeah, that one I can promise you.
You might
That
have
was-
some. You
yeah.
might have some substance, but I don't think it has to do with that. There might be more
So
to it.
the only thing
Maybe
on
maybe it
language-
hasn't been passed yet, but it's been brought up.
Oh,
speak
the
Spanish?
stupidest stuff gets brought up all the time. The
Yeah,
only thing
man.
I know with language that was passed recently in Texas is commercial drivers now have to speak English.
Agreed.
Because
I know that one.
the reason for that is like if you can't read the road signs, we had a person in Austin that killed like 5 people on the road. Yeah, this was like 2 months ago.
Like
They were
five.
doing they were doing construction. He didn't know what was going on, and he was driving an 18-wheeler and he killed like 5 people. Then we had somebody like a month ago. None of them were Hispanic, I think. The last guy I know for a fact he was Indian. He was trying to do a U-turn in the middle of the highway, and the SUV behind him just like went underneath, and everybody in that vehicle died as well. Then after that, they were like, no.
I don't think that's just road sign. I think that's just common sense. Because why would you U-turn in the
Yeah.
highway?
Because like, my thing is this: how did you get your CDL
Yeah.
without speaking English? You have to pass the test.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know. There's people out there that barely pass the test and they still get their CDL, or they don't. You know.
Really?
Yeah, they don't take
Like
the
DPS?
learning course and
Mhm.
stuff. They barely pass it, and you know how
But you
to
still
get,
have
like-
to pass a DPS test.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do.
so it's like there's different levels, and they still, terrible drivers still are on the road.
That's insane. I'm an immigrant myself.
How's
And-
that like? You know, people always nicking at you and stuff.
I didn't even know you were an immigrant, dude, when I met you. You called me about working out, dude, and I'm like, yeah, so to that point, you weren't an immigrant, you weren't black, you weren't white, you weren't anything, dude. You were Brian. You called me. I knew who you were, and I helped you navigate through some waters, and then
I appreciate that.
Reciprocity. You've helped me navigate some waters too.
That's what brotherhood is about.
Right. And that's what it's all about. It's about brotherhood. You ain't your nationality and my nationality. Your nationality is a plus for me because if I have questions about your type of your nationality, I'll ask you and you will answer me honestly, and I will take that honestly as your feedback because I trust you.
I appreciate it. It's really weird for me because I'm Middle Eastern. I'm from Iran. And I only been here for about 21 years.
Mm.
And I was just talking to the folks that run this place, LP and Ernest, and they're black. And we were just talking about like different struggles different races have. And they were sharing their stories with me. Actually, they're going to be on the next episode with me sharing their story. And few stories they told me, and I was scratching my head. And I was like, I have a lot of black friends. So they never told me this. Yeah. So I leave this place. I call a few of my buddies. I'm like, hey, I was just told this story. Do you struggle? Do you experience those kind of same things? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, did that ever happen when I'm there? And he's like, well, and the first one, the second one, the third one, I got to the fifth one and I'm scratching my head. They're like, well, when you're in the room, it's different. And I'm like, why is it when I'm in the room? Is they're like, I don't know. You're like a chameleon. Like, you hang out with us, we hang out with white folks, you hang out with Hispanics, and like you just mold into whatever room you go into. Because, and I started thinking back, I'm like, I grew up in friends with all mostly whites. There's a lot of Asians. Then I moved to Houston. I had a business in A-Leaf, so I was surrounded like in a ghetto, but it was blacks were in there, Hispanics were in there, Asians were in there, and it was just all ghetto. Yeah. So I got used to that environment. Then I went into politics. It's mostly whites in the Republican Party. I never seen myself like switch my stance or like anything like that. But when he told me that, and I was like, I do.
Have you ever been subjected?
Of course,
to racism? Okay.
No.
So me too. I have,
everybody.
Man. Yeah.
Oh,
there was racism in Iran.
In Iran?
Yeah.
By Iranians.
By Iranians. Because Iran is a melting pot too. You got the Kurds in there. You got Arabs in Iran. You got the Afghanis that are like immigrants. So like there was discrimination and racism in Iran. I worked in UAE. I worked in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I used to work in Qatar, Doha. Those countries, they discriminated against me twice. Once when they looked at my American passport, and the second time when they opened it and said born in Iran. So I've experienced racism all around the globe. Yeah. Here, by all races, I experienced racism. Not just white folks, not just Hispanics, not blacks, by all races. It's something that I think is part of our lives. It doesn't bother me. Yeah. If anything, I want racist people to be racist to me, so I know exactly who they are.
Yeah. I know what person you are. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Show your true color. I'll respect them, honestly. If you tell me like, oh boy, like your people don't belong here, or like get away from me, like sand nigga, like this and that, I was like, all right, bet.
Yeah. Did you come here before or after 9/11?
Right after 9/11.
Right after?
2 years after 9/11.
How was your life after that?
High school was a breeze. A lot of people in Kerr Lake was respectful. It's adulthood when I experienced more of racism, because in high school people like they can't be mean to you at school because they get suspended, right? You go outside of it, it was different. And I haven't shared this story anywhere. So my dad started a business my junior year in high school. It was like a little Middle Eastern store, and right next to us there was a liquor store. And my freshman year, sophomore year, I was nobody in high school. My junior year, things dramatically changed because I work right next to the liquor store and I'm friends with the owner. So all the parties from my high school if they wanted liquor, they had to come to me, and I would just go buy it for them.
I'll use a plug.
So I became like that summer between sophomore and junior. I became super famous because all the people that were throwing parties and having like the need for alcohol,
Yeah, they needed you.
they needed me.
Yeah.
Then my life dramatically changed. Then I started changing. My real name that I was born with is Batty. That's when Brian was born.
Yeah.
So
I think Batty's it's a cool name.
they're,
You know,
kids
Patty-
ruined it now.
Yeah, no,
You know,
Batty-
Patty the Batty?
Batty the Batty.
Patty the Batty?
But you
Yeah,
don't
see
call
that.
dudes baddies, right? Like it's for chicks.
Oh, yeah, that's for chicks.
Yeah. So like
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Your generation ruined that.
We ruined a lot of stuff. You know, bop. Like how you used to say it. Oh, songs are bop. Like that's a bop.
Yeah.
a bop.
Yeah.
A bop now is a hoe.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a bop, there's a bunch
Dude,
of bops out
I
there.
have nieces that are like 12 and 14 and a skibbity this, a skibbity that.
Oh,
and I'm like,
nah.
what language are you speaking?
Nah, man.
The-
And that's also ruining the younger generation. You know,
Yeah.
all the it's called brain rot. Brain rot.
Brain rot.
Yeah, because it's rotting your brain. All the little memes and stuff is all over social media.
It's real easy for somebody who's influential to throw something out there and that becomes a trend and then that becomes the language,
And
right?
you
The
know,
verbiage.
Numbers are a trend now. Like numbers are memes. 67. That's a meme. 41 is a meme. I don't know how, but it is. People laugh about it. People are dying about it. My little cousin, you say 6'7" to him, he's dying.
Just by saying the number.
6'7", and doing this motion.
Hey, you know what? If you say 47, everybody gets off.
You know about this stuff?
No, 47, man. That's Trump, baby.
Oh!
45, 47.
Yeah. Why'd I buy my office? Why'd I get my office?
Yeah.
This office 47, baby. You know what I'm
Damn.
saying? And I got 45. I got both of them. I bought all them offices.
Let's circle back to the race thing because I
Yeah.
want to know what your experience is being the age that you are because I know you had your share. I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah,
It was
man.
a different time.
No. I'm talking about recently, man. I bought my house.
Recently?
Yeah, bro. I bought my house.
Looking the way you do, people are like,
Dude, there was a lady walking her dog, and her dog was about to take a dump on my front lawn. I'm like, hey. And my dog got out and went to go sniff her dog. And she picked up her dog. She was like, oh, my God, what are you doing? Protect your dog. I'm like, woman, you on my land. You on my lot. The dog, I've known that dog to come and take on my
and she
grass
leaves
all
it.
the time. She just leaves it. And she goes, that's the problem with you renters. I'm about to call the homeowner. I'm like, I do own the home, lady. So she automatically thought, because I was in a white beater and shorts and some flip-flops, chilling on my, my garage.
Yeah.
And mom was there.
And my wife was there too.
She looks like a typical Mexican. And we were there
Yeah.
too. I think
And,
we were.
and she was like, you renters and this and that. I'm going to
What was
report
she?
you. And she was a white lady, man. Yeah.
White
But
lady
I'm
with
not
the
saying
hat.
it's because she was white. I'm just saying she just hit me with that. And I had never been subjected to that. I'm like, this bitch ass lady right here, man. Whatever, dude. So, but go ahead, son. You
How about
subjected to it, you know what I'm
yourself?
saying?
It was different moving from middle school to high school because middle school I was always the subject to bullying, and that's whenever it changed. I think 7th grade summer is when it changed how I looked and all that stuff.
Yeah, you got
When
in
it came,
boxing, you slimmed up.
when it came important to me. But middle school I was always hanging around with the Mexican group, and I would always hear the word beaner and like wetback and go back to your country. The wall, the Trump, and all that stuff. That's when it was trending at that
in
time.
school.
Yeah,
This is
in
middle school.
Middle
yeah.
school.
Yeah.
And then high school is when everything changed. I started hanging around. I joined football, and I got into more diverse.
Your
brotherhood.
your group changed.
And then I started hanging around with African Americans. I started hanging around with Indians and all this stuff, because they're cool. It's just
Diversity is good.
yeah, it's just the color of the skin. I didn't really think much of it, and I still don't. It's all personality to me. If you're get out of my face. I don't like to hang around those kind of people that are just how do you
Bitch
say?
ass nigga.
There's gonna be a lot of
Basically.
beeps in this episode.
That's simple.
When they're
Narrative.
self-centered. I don't like self-centered people.
Of course.
You always got to be.
Nobody
Yeah.
does. It's good to have standards for yourself and who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
There's
But it still happens, you know, where people are still they say things with malicious intent and like all that stuff. Um, but I just shrug it off. You know, it's normal.
And that's the thing. You can't fix the stupid.
Yeah.
The only thing that any of us can control, and you have to put all your effort into it, is yourself. That's all that matters. You don't change the person you are because somebody else is a person. And people have this effect. They want to make everybody like them.
They want to be right.
I'm gonna be beeping a lot of things from this episode, but ultimately that's what it comes to. Don't let the world's shittiness turn you into a person.
Yeah, the lion doesn't bother himself listening to the ass.
Yeah, I heard that story.
Yeah.
The donkey.
I'm not gonna beep that one. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
I knew
no,
what that ass
because it's a
stood for.
donkey.
Yeah, that's the right ass.
The lion's,
That's
not
what
gonna,
I know.
the lion's not gonna sit there and argue with a donkey being an idiot. So the donkey just sitting there yapping, and if the lion knows he's a lion, he's just like, all right, man.
And this isn't about politics with donkeys and elephants.
Give me another Macallan 18, baby. You know, give me another Macallan. Let's go. Fill me up. This guy sitting here yapping, still talking. I'm like, man, drink my tea. And leave it
But
alone.
tell me about the bill that you all are working on, that you're gonna go testify on.
Okay, so that's classified, but I'll tell you that the American Business and Immigration Coalition,
Okay.
right? We're working on a strategy to indemnify those who are already here and make sure that we kind of draw a line in the sand.
And where does
And you know what? And then that's subject to change, right? So I can't quote exactly what everybody's doing because it's always subject to change, man. And it's not.
just speaking on your behalf, if you cross a border from any of our neighboring countries into U.S., you're breaking the law, right?
Yes.
Just starting from that main principle, I think that a lot of issues is nobody wants to talk about the nitty gritty of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do y'all think it would be a fair punishment for somebody that crosses the border illegally? Before we can get into all the other stuff, that's what happens when they come here and commit a crime.
I actually watched. I was going on my feed and I saw a Charlie Kirk debate with this exact topic. He said that you're a criminal for breaking the law, and if you're here, then you're a criminal here, so you should be punished. And I think I agree with that because if you're a criminal, you should be punished anyways, no matter what crime you did. If you stole,
What was his
if you
suggestion?
murdered. Huh?
What was his suggestion
What
for
Charlie
that
said?
punishment?
He just said punishment. I think it was jail time or something like that. Sending back.
Yeah. Well, they said send you back. Mexico, they keep you there and put you in jail.
Yeah.
Like
They put you in jail for even attempting to leave.
Mexico, for example. If me and you go to Mexico, overstay our visa, what do you think happens?
We're getting locked up
We get
in Mexico.
Yeah, we
We're
get
not
locked
getting
up in
sent back.
Mexico.
We're not getting sent back.
Really?
Yeah.
They keep you locked up,
Yeah.
and then what? They're gonna pay for you to stay in jail?
Oh man, jails in Mexico ain't
this
like the ones
different
over
story.
here.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
They'll do whatever
Yeah, bro.
whatever
Like-
means.
Yeah, you're gonna be talking to Taco Julio several times, brother. So,
So-
that's what I'm. So you ask what's a fair deal? Hey, look, man. There's so many moving parts to this thing, dude.
There's
What's a fair deal? All of this because of the way it's been allowed. You know, you can't have one president that lets everybody in, and then the other president says, "Hey, nah, we're gonna lock all you up and throw them away." That's a situation. Period. Somebody's gonna lose, right? But hey, if we already got all the ants in the ant farm, let's just draw a line in the sand. All right, look, here's the deal. Here's your visa. You're gonna start filing your taxes. Here's your W-9. Here's a W-4. If you already work, you don't work for somebody yet. It's a W-4 because you don't have a social. It's your 1099 with your social on it. You're not using anybody else's.
So
There's a lot of folks out
this
there.
is a
using other
visa.
people's
We're not
social.
talking about residency.
No. We're just using a visa right now with a little I-10 number.
you don't get residence
Tax
for years.
identification number.
Yeah.
Temporarily. Don't mess up. Right? I had a theory in the past that if you truly want to pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God,
Amen.
right? You come over, just you first. Join the military. Do your time. Then you can bring over your family. Because at that point, you have pledged your allegiance to the United States of America.
Well, that one is gonna be a rough one because if you allow people within our military that are not U.S. citizens and they're citizen of a different nation,
That is gonna cause bias.
you're gonna open up the can of worm for espionage. You have your military be infiltrated by foreign nations.
Well, that's why we have to vet them.
When I joined the military, that's where FBI dropped the ball like major. I go through all my training, like 8 months, 9 months. I get to my unit down in Texas. Then this suited guy shows up, flashes the FBI badge. Hey, I have to do your due diligence before we give you a clearance. And I was like, my mind was blown. I'm like, bruh, I had access to so many weapons, so many different times. You just now coming to vet me?
Yeah.
Like a year later?
Yeah.
But one of the questions that came up, they were like, are you a dual citizen? Are you a citizen of Iran? At that point I was. And they're like, do you ever travel back home? I'm like, no. He's like, do you have a passport? I'm like, no. And he's like, would you ever get a passport? I was like,
Yeah.
I can't even go back. They will kill me. And he's like, well, why are you still a citizen? Why don't you renounce your citizenship? I was like, say no more, fam. Gone. I'm not a citizen of Iran anymore. It was, I didn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Like, this is home. I don't want to go back to Iran.
Yeah.
Ever.
So, continue. I'm sorry.
No. So, allowing people to come here and serve, I get the patriotism aspect of it, that you serve in this country, you earn your place here. But at the same time, it would be a national security nightmare.
Yeah. And you know what? You're right.
Because it's not just Mexicans that come through the Mexican border.
Right.
Chinese, Iranians.
That's the most amount of people that do come, like immigrant wise.
Yeah, on a statistic level, the Latino demographic is
No, of course.
And Canadian.
But it's Latinos. It's not just Mexican. People from El Salvador, all of them would be falling under that.
Well, we shouldn't have let them. I think it would have been a better move not to let everybody just flood in, because now we got this mess that somebody got to clean up, and you're gonna be the bad guy.
We can't go back in time. That's the kind of worm that Joe Biden has started, allowing 12 million people to come
also,
here.
if that didn't happen, we wouldn't be here.
Well, I'm talking about recently, son.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys.
You're talking about back in time. If we could change time and not let them back in, we wouldn't be here.
Well,
No.
I would,
So-
because my grandfather came over the right way, and then he brought the family over the right way. So my parents are Mexican too, and my grandparents are Mexican too.
That's the
and
thing.
They all came over the right way.
America takes in 1 million immigrants a year. That's what our capacity is, legally. So you could be in Mexico and come here legally without crossing the border illegally. You just file for asylum, file it through the system, file the paperwork, wait your turn. We stayed in Turkey for 3 years.
Yeah. Well, look up the U.S. Embassy. Look up what the United States gives the Chinese Embassy. $300 million a year. This is back in 2015 when I went to the Chinese Embassy. Or the United States Embassy in China. The United States gives the Chinese Embassy $300 million a year to bring foreign exchange students over from China to learn the game in the United States. Pay for them full ride with Gucci benefits for them to live here.
Are you
With the
serious?
intent for them to go back and start business over there to do business. But they don't go back. And you know what? That's fine, because a lot of my friends are Chinese, right? The ones that are here. But that scenario is they don't keep them here. I'm sorry, they don't go back. They stay here, and then they bring their families over legally.
Because they became legal.
Because
first.
they became legal, and
For free.
What them Asians, boy? They stay in them books.
Oh, yeah.
Stay in them books and make that money, and they work together. They stick together, and they raise, man, they build empires.
Their
so they're
culture
able to
is-
bring over folks, man.
Their culture is nice. man.
They're able to bring over them folks. So when I was at the U.S. Embassy that was in China, man, I'll never forget that I was in that room. $300 million a year, or I think it was a semester or a year. Goes over there, and I'm like, what about the United States? I'm over here paying $80,000 for my master's.
Why are they getting it for free?
Yeah. However, I get it. I get it, man. You know, to my son's point, there's a lot of, if there wasn't that for different countries and we didn't sponsor visas and education for people to come over here, there are so many immigrant nationals that have come over here the right way and changed the United States, or changed the state of Texas, or changed the city of Houston, or changed all that, right? So it's a double-edged sword, man. You know, it's a gamble. You're going to roll the dice here. You're either going to hit a 7 or a 4, and then you're going to have to roll another 4. But don't snake eyes, bro. Don't crap out.
All right. We're getting close to the end of this episode. And I have one final question for both of you, each one individually. If you had to give one advice to Gabriel that would not just be an advice for him, everybody else that's listening to the episode that would hear this and take something valuable, that obviously they have to be within his age group, what would that advice be? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Don't ever lose your faith. Don't ever lose your faith.
It's that simple?
That's it. Don't lose your faith, because your faith will take you so far. Your faith in yourself to open up a business and run it, or the faith in yourself to take on a business and continue to make it bigger and to manage it correctly. The faith in your wife to be there when the hits the fan and your house is getting, you got a pink slip and they're about to take your house and she says, go back to work. Your faith in your kids that they're going to do the right thing. Your faith in your family that they're going to have your back when shit hits the fan. Shout out to my little sister. Just keep your faith in God and keep your faith in people. So, and keep your faith in yourself, man. Have faith in yourself that you can overcome obstacles. So always keep the F word in front of you, which is your faith. And what's our faith in? Our faith is in God. You put God in front of everything, man, you good.
Amen to that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited for yours? So, me and your dad are around the same age. If you had to tell my generation, your dad's generation, on how we can improve the stuff that we do today to be a positive influence on your generation, so we can capable your generation to be a positive influence on the next generation, because this wheel just keeps always turning. What suggestion, what advice you have for our generation on how to improve your life and the generations to come?
I think it's always the younger generation looks up to the older generation. So I would say just be the best example you can, because there are a lot of adults that are living like kids, and then the kids that grow up expect to be like the adults that act like kids, and they think that it's okay, when adulthood is really, it's not childlike. It's very different. And I've experienced it because I work with my dad, and I have the experience of, getting to talk to older people, and it's way different, their views on the world than ours. So I think just being the best example is preparing them for the future.
Put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Well, I appreciate you both. Thank you for
man.
giving me your time. Very insightful. We definitely got to come back and talk more about the immigration. Whenever you come back from DC, let me know.
Yeah.
We go over all the stuff that you have accomplished while you were there. And Gabriel, I'm excited about what's to come. You're a good kid. You got a good head on your shoulder. Your dad did a great job with you, and I can't wait to see you turn into a grown-up, be a man, and have your own family one day, and we'll do another episode with your kid here one day.
Hey, that'll work.
You be a grandpa at that point. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, man.